Yeousch!
What is going on, guys? HDProdigy back once again, bringing you guys Modern Warfare 3 Spawn School with HDProdigyGaming. So this is the Seatown spawn episode, but before I get into it, I wanted to go over a couple quick things a lot of people have been asking questions on, and some good stuff like that. So I want to start with the goal for the series. So a lot of people have been asking, you know, what can I gain from this by watching these videos? And the main thing is, spawns help you become a better player. The number one thing I notice online is people complaining about either being killed from behind, or noticing very good players who play very poorly just because they roam the map so much. Well, they could be racking up kills and XP. So what this series allows you to do is know where the spawns are so that you move to these spawns and don't wander the map aimlessly. Hopefully this will help you excel as a player and grow. So what the main goal after this is that I can go through all the spawns for all the maps in Modern Warfare 3, and then at some point continue with the series and show you guys how you can manipulate those spawns. But before we do that, we have to know the main spawns on each map, and then after that we can move on to manipulating them by showing game footage as well as different visual effects so that I can show you guys really how to move around the map to utilize spots on the map, as well as to push these spawns into areas that you can rack up a lot of XP, a lot of kills, and overall have a lot of fun and not die as much. So we'll get right into the Seatown spawns episode. So the first thing I noticed while going over the spawns on Seatown was how wide the spawns were. You're going to notice that they do stay very far back in your spawn, and you don't spawn that close to the map very often. The only spawns close to the center are pretty much the 4 and 3 spawns on both sides, but other than that, most of the spawns are very far back. What this allows for is a lot of long-range fighting on the map Seatown, past the right and left side, as well as a lot of close range in the middle of the map. What this means is on this map you should be focusing on holding the sides down and pushing through the middle to really push the other team out of their spawn. So we'll start off with the blue side at the 1 spawn point. Now the 1 spawn point is to the right of the main spawn. For the main spawn, you're going to spawn in that lighthouse towards the left of your spawn, and the first thing you should be doing is capping that A flag and then rushing straight to B. That 1 spawn is right on top of the A flag, which means that usually you're being pushed back very far into your spawn if you're spawning here. If you spawn at this 1 spot, the first thing you should be doing is pushing to the right and left of the map to really get the other team pushed into a spot where you can go ahead and cap that B flag and flip them. The next spot is the 2 spawn point. Now the 2 spawn point contains 2 spawns within the building and slightly outside of it. If you're spawning here, you're usually about to get flipped out of your spawn, and the other team has pushed into your main spawn area through that lighthouse. If you spawn in this building, the first thing you should be doing is pushing through that right side of the map and really clearing the other team out. Make sure you don't get spawn killed when you spawn here by people looking at that A side, so definitely be looking over that A flag once you spawn to make sure that you're clear. Next you have the 3 spawn point. Now the 3 spawn point is right on that halfway line of the map. It is actually a shared spawn point, meaning that if your team has the A flag capped, you will spawn here, but if the other team has C and B, they can also spawn here. What that means is if you spawn here, you know that the other team is pushed out, and if you're not spawning here, you know that someone on the other team is within that area. Next you have the 4 spawn point. Now the 4 spawn point is also shared between both teams. What this means is the same exact as the last spot, meaning if you're not spawning here, someone's in that location and you should be looking to push them out. The 4 spot is very close to that B flag, so if you spawn here, the first thing you should be doing is checking those corners first and then be heading to that B flag. You're going to notice that yellow line, as always, splitting down the middle half of the map so that you guys know where the spawns are going to flip if you pass that. If you have the B flag capped, you should always be spawning in the 3 and 4 area, which allows you to protect that B flag at all times. However, if the other team has C and B in domination, you're definitely going to be looking to hop on that B flag and push them out of the 3 and 4 spawns. These are the spawns for domination, but they are very similar in all the other game modes, the same as the last episodes. So know that in all game modes, these are the areas that you need to be looking out for, as well as a few other areas in other game modes, but for domination, these are the main ones. Next, we'll flip over to the red side. Now, the red side starts out with the 1 spawn point. The 1 spawn point is adjacent to the 3 spawn point from the blue side and contains a very large open area. What this means is, when you spawn here, you're probably going to get spawn killed at some point if the other team is sniping down that long alleyway. So the first thing you should be doing is running to that C flag and getting to cover if you're getting shot at right away. If not, you can be pushing to that 3 spawn point, capping that B flag and controlling the other team's spawn. Next, you have the main spawn, which you're going to spawn at the beginning of the game. It is on that far right side, and it is that circle as always. You might spawn here a few times during the game, but the majority is going to be at that one spot if you're being pushed back into your spawn. Next, you have the 2 spawn point. Now, the 2 spawn point is very close to your main spawn, and you will be spawning here quite a few times during the game when the other team is pushing down that left side and has control of your main 1 spawn. Next, you have the 3 spawn point. Now, the 3 spawn point is right outside C flag. It is actually in a building, so what this means is if you spawn here, you're safe from most fire due to the fact that a lot of people on the other team won't be looking in that main building. What this means is from this point, you can push a quick rush to that B flag and hopefully pick up a cap and a few kills. Next, you have the 4 spawn point. The 4 spawn point is outside and very close to that B flag. What this means is if the other team is not capping C and you don't want to be capped, you should be pushing that B flag right away and picking up some kills. Be on the lookout though when you spawn at this B flag as well as at this 4 area that you don't get picked off by people coming around that corner. So this is the Seatown spawns. As always, leave a like and some feedback for me. There are a few other spawns, but these are the main ones that you really need to worry about. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 4 of Modern Warfare 3 Spawn School with HDProdigyGaming. I'm looking for feedback for episode 5 on what maps you guys want to see, and depending on what you guys pick will be what I do. So thank you guys for watching. I'm HDProdigyGaming, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeousch!